Secret House.
Secret House.
Secret House.
Diagonal, maybe Secret House.
Yeah, I mean, we'll figure out how it looks. You know, we're real like a low. I don't even know how to describe it. Our operation
DIY.
is very We don't have a regular camera. This is done on a phone, and I
we
edit everything on the phone.
Behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah,
You're not supposed to. You're supposed to flex, but we got a red camera. We got the red and the Sony A7 setup.
You know what the thing is like there's equipment in here that I'm proud of. I got turntables and all the other, you know what I mean? I got a rack and shit. It's just that the recording device is kind of low key. I could get mic stands if I wanted mic stands, but I don't like mic stands.
We did that once, right?
Yeah, we thought about it. We put them in there and then we put them out of there. Like,
we just didn't use them, yeah.
I don't know, man. Secret House album reviews out here in Tokyo. We talk about mostly underground, independent hip hop shit. All of us are these names here at the bottom. And we're from a bunch of different places with a bunch of different opinions on different types of music. Today, we've got beats in the background by
DBL-A.
You can see his name here and also an album. He just dropped a new joint called Respectfully. And I'm just going to let that rock. I've actually not listened to it yet. So if there's vocals, I'm going to just skip past it. I don't think there are vocals. But yes, today, we, as you've seen in the title card and everything like that, we're talking about an underground hip hop artist from North Carolina. And his name is Lord. See, why are my notes not ready? Lord Jah-Monte Ogbon and Sadhugold on their new album collaboration, The Black Mobius. And I don't like how the beats just keep ending on me being this. Hold on. There we go. Gotcha. All right, yeah. So The Black Mobius, it's 10 songs, 24 minutes, a pretty quick project. And what's crazy is this album came out like 2 weeks ago. Yep. And then another album by Jah-Monte came out too. So he's got another album out.
Everything Everywhere, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Or is that the Michelle Yeoh movie?
Oh, that Michelle Yeoh movie looks ill, but it's
Everything
something similar.
Everywhere at Once.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch that. A24, get on it. But yeah, there it is. Here, There, and Everywhere. Here, There, and Everywhere is the name of it.
That's a new one?
Yeah.
I listened to the wrong album then, guys.
You listened to the wrong album?
I got this one, guys.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. No. You talk about that one. We'll talk about this one because it's mostly about, like, I guess we can talk about the takes. You know how I like to do this? I like to first talk about the artist and our familiarity. Familiarity?
Mm-hmm.
How I'm saying it wrong? Familiarity. Is that fine?
I get what you're saying.
You're good. Cool, no, don't get what I'm saying though. Tell me if it's right or wrong.
It was wrong, but I got it.
British.
Familiarity.
Yeah, that's it.
Is it?
Yeah.
See, I mean, all right. Anyways,
Spade totally used a word that wasn't a word in our last review.
Probably.
You were like exponentially. And I was like, are you saying exponentially? Expeditionally?
Nah, he just that's like what Raekwon used to do.
That just wasn't a word.
Thank you for letting me cook though.
I remember when you said I think it was the Arm & Hammer, you said that wasn't prolific, and I was like, that's not what prolific means. And for about 0.8 seconds on the clip, you look like you're going to triangle choke me.
Hey,
like you look like you're gonna jump across the table and just take my life.
Sometimes that has to happen. But yeah, like I said, I like to talk about how familiar we are with this artist. Who would like to start that off? Did you know about him?
I did not know about this guy.
Nothing.
I was not unaware of this guy. I didn't know like he was from North Carolina. That was interesting to me because a lot of people from that southern region now is actually starting to blow up.
Okay, you would think that it would sound a little bit like P.D. Pablo or like Little Brother. One of these.
Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't even say this was like close to P.D. Pablo's type style. It just
it's not close to either of those styles, really.
I don't believe in North Carolina.
It's a place in time and space.
I don't think it's real. There's certain states like Idaho and Montana, both Carolinas, that like you can't convince me they exist.
You're from a place that I don't believe exists either.
Yeah.
London.
Is that what they're calling it now?
I'm sure every dark person on the planet, including us, have certain history that might have come from that definitely. Region of the world.
Yeah. I don't believe in the moon either, but
okay, word.
No, we're all just kidding,
but
yeah, he's from North Carolina. Did you know about him?
I was aware of him. I think it's actually some of the people that were recommending him in the comments were friends of mine. So
okay, well, I saw him an off top video of him freestyling freestyling a joint like maybe last year, and then earlier in the year I was going to do a solo review on his Beautifully Black album that was produced by Navy Blue. And somebody else in the comments also said, get with it, and I was like, word, maybe we'll try to get with it. But I've listened to 3 of his projects, and it was the Beautifully Black that came out maybe last November, this one, and then the Here, There, and Everywhere joint. And I guess I'll just start by saying like his style, his rapping style is something that typically speaks to me. He, even though he's from North Carolina, he doesn't rap like he's from that lineage. I kind of thought he was a New York cat, and I guess he was a New York cat. He was living there and making music and succeeding there. But he's got a very kind of underground, independent, Def Jookie style of like very straight bars, like straightforward, but also not your typical bar style structures. He's a styler too. Yeah, he's got an interesting voice. His voice is dope. His sentence structures are interesting. His rhyme schemes and but he doesn't have like punchlines like that. You know what I mean? What do you think about his rhyme styles here?
I'm gonna try to hold my tongue because I listened to the wrong album, so I have nothing to really compare to you guys. However,
I mean, I heard that one too.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
I didn't like the bars, to be honest with you, man. I felt like I should have been like on E rubbing my nipples while listening to this song, this whole album. It was all
rubbing your nipples.
Yeah, I feel like I should have been on E, like flipping my nipples, because everything was woman based, female based, love based. It was definitely a themed album because all the songs were just lovey dovey. I mean, Thug Love would have been a better title for this album, and some of the lyrics just it was just all based on women, which all right, that's the theme of the album, cool. But I'm like,
he does that on most of his projects. Like even the Black Mobius project has songs that are. I was wondering, like, is there a part of his fan base that is like largely women, but the songs are not really like songs for women?
Yeah,
I'm not. And that's one of my critiques about some of, like, not all of the songs on the Black Mobius are about that, but there definitely are some songs and that theme comes up. I don't like fools who are like hard and goons, like I feel Jah-Monte is. He sound like a goon. He sound like he do goon maneuvers. He's not your traditional gangbanger, but I did goon maneuvers, you know what I mean, with writing graffiti, stealing cars, and all these, you know what I mean, trapping a little bit. I use the word trapping kind of ironically for a dude that just sold weed to smoke weed type of shit, you know what I mean? Boy. But he has a lot of goon shit, but I hate fools rapping to me about women or saying things.
Talking
to women on raps about, like, show me what that cookie like to me, wax or bald eagle, like these type of lines is just personally not some shit that I care for. That's why I don't listen to like a lot of Slugs shit. And there's a lot of songs, even on the Beautifully Black album, that are like him doing like sexy songs for men about women, like not sexy, but kind of just like I'm trying to fuck type of songs for dudes.
I was like, man, are you saying, because it was a lot of songs talking about she's for the streets. I'm like, it kind of sounds like you're for the streets, my guy. Like, I don't know what you're really trying to get across. I mean, I'm all for guys tapping into their feelings, but you said, it didn't really hit right for me. I'm just like, it's turning me off.
Give them this, the Only Us joint on this album with the side note feature, like towards the end of the album, was one of my favorite cuts, and I really liked Side Note's verse on there. And she was someone I wasn't familiar with her at all, so I went back and listened to her album Mister that came out in 2017, and it's a little rough, but it's fucking dope. Like it's got like a kind of brain feeder, Flying Lotus type, like bouncy, off kilter, prefuse Sam I Am type thing going on. And then she kind of goes back and forth between rapping and singing, and sometimes she just provides kind of ambience and stuff. I guess she produced it as well, but yeah, she's dope, and there's like nothing about her online.
I want to say,
shouts out to Lord Jah-Monte Ogbon for putting me onto Side Note, because
all the things that I don't like about some of his songs is that aspect about women, but I also think he gets off on rapping like for his style. There's a lot, there's bars and things that I do like about his rap style that I feel works well for me when the beat is like when the beat hits right for me. Sometimes I'm just like, oh, he got off on that. There's a few songs on it. There's lines like, homie asked for my advice. I told him I don't adhere to hunger. I'm from a fucked up generation. Had no OGs when I was younger. He goes off and it's a style that I traditionally like. I just don't like the lady shit. And the thing about it too is like he's not. Some of these songs seem like there's a concept to it, but it's not like one that is like really written through to highlight it exactly. He kind of just bars out and raps dope on some of it. I do like his rapping.
How you feel about Sadhugold?
I'm actually a fan of his. Like he's collaborated with some of the homies in the past, and I like his work, and that's why I chose this album instead of the other one, because I was like, maybe Sadhu. Before I listened to it, I was like, maybe Sadhu got off on this, but. To be honest, when it comes to production, I actually like the two other albums a little bit more.
What?
Not to say
Which
that
other albums? This one right here.
this one and the Beautifully Black one that came out with.
I'm gonna hate the other album because I thought the production on this one, while not bad, he definitely implied the Kiss method to this album. They keep it simple, stupid, because the beats are so damn basic. It's like the basic of the
some
most
very
basic.
simple beats on this one too, but I think it works pretty well most of the time. Like there's that joint Mirror Soul, which has a really simple beat. Like there's like a synthesizer and then like maybe like a bass, a very minimal bass line and some very, very minimal percussion. But then there's like a vocal sample of like somebody talking. You know, it sounds like it could even be like Marvin Gaye or something. He's just kind of talking softly in the background. And then you got the ad-libs on top of that. And then you've got Jah-Monte's vocals on top. And it gives it this really like cool texture. I was like really, really into like how that kind of came together.
That's what I like about the production on this with his voice. There's a lot of interesting textures on it. The Calendar Counters joint, there's like a slow guitar riff with the vocal sample.
The vocal sample is like
it's like some 60s psych rock, but kind of like slow and churning and different. And there's also like some type of video, like a cartoon teleportation sound that comes in. And it just works dope for his voice. And some of those tracks I do like. Yesua is really dope. Lincoln and Building is really dope. And it be the beats that pull me to the track, and then I sink in and link in with Jah-Monte. That album, what was it called? Here, there, and everywhere. Yeah. It is a little bit more simple than this, in my opinion. Wow. But my favorite of them is the Navy Blue production on the Beautifully Black joint. Is kind of like I like Navy Blue shit. I like Navy Blue shit.
That's probably the best track on the whole album.
No, I'm talking about the album. It's called
the album he did
Beautifully Black.
Well, I'm talking about. On this album, the best track on the album is probably
the Navy Blue joint.
Yeah. Oh, there's a Navy Blue joint on there. Okay. But I didn't know it was the production. The YL track on that is dope too.
Well, I look at this whole album as basically a throwaway. I don't know. I think we get into the Costco production of albums now, where everything is so simple and we're just putting it out and just putting it out and putting it out and putting it out. So it's kind of like a mass production. I'm not saying the quality is bad on this album. I'm not, but I think his voice is very dope, but the bars just wasn't hitting for me.
I didn't think that you would enjoy the lyrics either myself, to be honest with you. I also thought that maybe the production would be a little bit difficult for you to get
basic. I mean, it's not bad. They're not bad beats. But for me, like I said, this is going to be an album. The Here, There, and Everywhere. Just an album.
Word. Well, you know, the thing about this for me is like whenever I see an artist who is putting out 3 projects in 4 months or whatever, I kind of always I think it's some of my favorite other artists suffered from. Sometimes you oversaturate and then you kind of stop following them because of that. I'm sure he has a part of the fan base that there's casts like, yo, Lord Jah-Monte is one of my favorites, and they listen to all this stuff. For me, as a person who's not so familiar, a lot of these projects kind of feel like they're hastily constructed and put together. And when I listen to some of the lyricism, I'm just kind of like, okay, this is really dope. But I'm been around cats who could rap dope at freestyling, but every song is not like.
I'll play devil's advocate on this one. A theme that does come up a lot on that album is just this idea of like independence and doing your own thing. I don't know. On Onami
several
too,
tracks.
You only pop in on Bandcamp Friday. Meanwhile, I'm doing this music shit my way. He talks about on Dancing with the Stars and stuff. He talks about, you know, he's being independent. He's doing his own thing. And I you know,
Lincoln and Building is the same.
Lincoln Building. I really appreciate.
I'm gonna go back and listen to
his
that
like his DIY, his independence. You know, this kind of. I've always supported this kind of culture in all things,
Yeah.
not just in music, but, in art just generally. I really think it's dope when people do things themselves, when they're, they don't let their kind of means and surroundings limit their creativity, and they're putting things out and they're making shit. I don't love this album, but I do think, one of the things I liked about it, it's same with like the Chris Crack, where I described it as punk rock. I think, he's kind of similar in that respect, that you're never going to see this guy like doing something incredibly label oriented and very sleek. And I think it's a nice antidote to the pop landscape right now.
I think that I kind of regretfully, I feel like a lot of my critique on him as an artist seems to might come across as negative, and some of it definitely you could take it that way, and I do have some negative critiques about his work, but I'm actually a fan. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna continue checking out his work because I do like what he does. He's just not an artist who is really struck me as like, oh, I'm really on board. I'm going to listen to it and keep following and see what type of stuff that he puts out. It took me a long time to catch on to some of the other cats I listen to as well. And I think that he's still a very young cat who's coming into himself.
How old is he?
He's probably in his mid-20s, maybe 24
okay.
or something like that. But he seems a little young. He's coming into life. And I'm not going to, I'm not saying that talking about women like the way that you do is wrong to rap about. It's just not something that I really give a shit about.
Yeah, it doesn't hit me.
I've never given a shit about people rapping about that stuff to me. I think it's kind of like, bro, I'll tell y'all all day like some of the Goon maneuvers, but it's just not the type of rap that I want. And all of his albums feature that in a way that is something that pushes me away from him as an artist, in the same way an album that featured like using the F-bomb would push me away from somebody. It's just not something that I rock with, and it doesn't pull me back. I won't listen to a Royce the 5'9" track if he calls somebody an F-slur.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I will. Sorry, that's a contradiction of mine.
I don't like Royce like
I love
you
Royce,
do,
man.
but I know he's one of your favorites, but not me.
It's one of those, man. You're right. Maybe this album's not for me, not my demographic, but I'm reluctant to shit on the young man too.
Yeah, I mean, that's not the purpose of this channel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think any of us particularly cared for this project, but at the same time, we do this because we support independent music, and we want to support, in Mega's words, the Black Radical tradition.
Word.
And this is Black Radical tradition music.
I feel that.
And I think there's a lot of dope stuff here that a lot of people are going to dig more than we do.
I think, and I think that that's one of the things whenever we look for an album to do, we've got a few different artists to pick from. And one of the reasons I want to do Lord Jah-Monte is not because somebody mentioned in the comment, that also helped, but it was because I respect what he's doing. Listen, look at his name. You know what I mean? Like my man is pro-black and radical in the sense that I believe that this type of art attack certain foundations in popular culture, and I fuck with that. I'm a huge fan of him and his approach to making music. Hopefully more of the albums in the future just click for me better. Word up. Shout out to to all the independent artists. That's what we do over here. Secret House Against the World.
Oh, Pop and Zip is dope too. Sorry, I lost track. I lost track stuff.
I mean, yo, some of these dope joints are just fucking ill. Like,
this sample's crazy.
The Yeshua joint too, like,
very lush, yeah.
Yo, he goes off on some of these entrances. Like, the way he comes into some of these tracks is fucking hard. What is the joint where he's like, oh man, fucking, it's on the first track where he's like, my brother died in jail or some shit. Like, oh, he's dope, man. He's really dope, man. Check him out. Secret House. Against whack shit.
Here, there, everywhere. That album.
I don't know how I'm gonna title this shit. I'm gonna title it the Black Mobius, since we got 2 out of 3 on it.
Okay,
I mean, it is a critique of him as an artist too, in a lot of ways, more than it is just a single album. Shout out to both of these guys. Peace, like, comment, subscribe, do all the things that you would do to shit that you really like. Patreon coming soon.
Patreon coming soon, baby.
Yeah, we coming up. Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Come on, 500 subscribers, please.
Oh yeah, 5,000.
5,000? Yeah, 50,000. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, 50,000.
Fuck the alt-right.